Okay, so we have seen the data models, right? So now let's check on what is the um, implementation sequence. Okay, how success factor how success factors is implemented by the consultant, right? So what are the step-by-step process which is involved in implementing the success factors? Okay, what do the consultant do for implementation, right? So this is more for an interview.
Yeah.
So success implementation sequence. So as consultants, these are the steps which we take to implement success factors, okay? Especially employee centered. So the very first step in the implementation process is that creating a provisioning account. Okay, so why creating a the first step should be creating a provisioning account?
Because it is from this account that the implementation consultants will be working from.
Exactly. Right. So that's the point there. So the implementation consultant needs the provisioning account to set up the company settings, right? So that they can work in the inst. And they have to set the settings in provisioning initially. They have to upload the data models, and then they should move on to the the inst where they do the configuration, right? So first one, after creating the provisioning account, then create a super admin account. So because only with super admin account they can access the instance, right?
Yes.
So that's why super admin account. Third one is configure load corporate data model. Configure load. I mean, first you can take it as succession data model. Corporate data. Can I guess why I am telling configure/load?
Because in the course of the configuration, you have I don't think I'm making sense. Because you can configure and load the data models at the same time.
Yes. So let's say if one organization so there is company 1, company 2, let's say. This company there is no customizations. Okay, so there is customizations, which means apart from the standard elements there is some more fields. Okay, here there's only standard, whatever is given by default by SuccessFactors. Okay, so even so in this case there is customizations, so we have to download the data model from provisioning we have to update all the new fields, and then we upload it back to the instance. So here, um, do you require to upload the data model because there is no customization, right? Do you need to upload the data model?
No.
But actually, you need to upload the data model. Why? I will tell you. That is the crucial part. That's why we said configure/load. Why we need to upload is this is a standard process. Even if there is no customizations, we just have to download the data model from provisioning, and then we will upload it back to provisioning. It's a
Okay.
formality. That's when the system will understand that, okay, the data model is in the system. Okay. If
Okay.
there is customizations, if there is no customizations, we'll download and the same data model will upload it. If there is customizations, of course, we will change the data models and then we will import it back. But if there is no change also, we will download the data model and we will import the data model. Okay, it's a formality, but it has to be done. You're getting the point?
Yes.
That's why we are telling configure/load, because configuration is if there is any customizations involved. Load is, I mean, even if there is no customizations, you just download it and then import it. Then you have configure load country specific succession data model. Configure/load country specific corporate data model. Right after the data models, what do we have? We have to create foundation object. Of course, we'll see what foundation objects. That's our next topic. Okay.
Huh?
Right, what foundation objects are? That is our next topic. So create foundation objects, then load propagation data model. We discussed yesterday, right? Propagation data model.
Yes. Yes. We discussed this one. It's understood. So this
Then
propagation data model now, the particular data will be the one for the, like, let's say you're doing the configuration in Sweden. You do the one associated to Sweden, right? Not just all in the system.
that's correct, exactly. And we have the next one is load event reason derivative data model. Next one is load workflow derivative data model. Import employee data, role based permission, and HRIS synchronization. Okay, we will import the data, import employee data, and then we'll create role based permission. Role based permissions means, I mean, we are yet to see this topic. Role based permissions decides which employee should have what kind of accesses, which employee should have what kind of features.
What kind of permission?
Yeah, that is role based permissions. The third one is HRIS synchronization. So what is HRIS synchronization? The data getting synchronized from employee central to the other success factor modules. So that option is called HRIS synchronization. Right, got the point?
Yes.
HRIS synchronization. So these are the list of steps which can be done, which has to be performed while implementing the success factors. These are the list of steps. So now we'll see
So,
where is this activity done, whether it is done. Sorry.
I have a question. I have a
Yeah.
question. So, if I am called a consultant to a new company that wants to start using SAP as an end user.
Hmm.
These are the steps I will use to configure their system, right?
Yes, yes. As a
These
these
are
are
the
the
various steps I will use.
correct, correct, correct. In order for the
Okay,
success
if I am looking,
for the end user, these are the steps.
and it is a system administrator that works at the end of the end user, right?
Correct.
Or he or she works not in the, at the end. Okay, now, but as a system administrator, will I have to do this configuration?
The implementation consultant will be doing this during implementation.
Okay, but it's done because after 1 or 2 years, I will upgrade the implementation consultant also.
Correct. So then you will be doing this. Yes.
Okay.
Of course, the foundation objects, I'll show you which is done in provisioning, which is done in instance. Whatever is done in instance, you can obviously do as an administrator also.
Okay.
Excuse me. So this is done in instance. Okay. Sorry, this is done in provisioning. Okay. And where is the first super admin account created?
It's created from the
In provisioning only, right?
provisioning and the instance, I think.
The first super admin is always created in provisioning only. The
Sure.
first super admin. After that, you can create super admins in the instance. We'll see while we're doing our role-based permissions. So this is the succession data model is in provisioning. In provisioning, corporate data model, you can do it in instance also, right?
Mm.
This feature, correct? So you see here, you go to admin center. You see here?
Yeah.
Corporate data model.
Uh-huh.
And corporate data model. We have seen this yesterday. So
Yes, we did
you
this.
can do it in the instance as well. Succession is obviously in the provisioning. This you can do it in provisioning or instance. Foundation objects you can only do in the instance. Okay, you can only do in the instance. So this is sorry. This is here. Provisioning. Sorry, this is only done in provisioning. Okay, not in instance. Provisioning only. Obviously, in provisioning, you can only do import employee data in the instance itself. RBP is also in the instance. Okay, so this is again in provision. Okay, now you're clear where the activities are done exactly.
Sorry.
Now, are you clear where are these activities done, whether it is in provisioning or in the instance?
Yes, yes, I'm clear.
So So this is the implementation sequence. I mean, during the interviews, they may ask these points, okay?
Okay.
But certification, this is just information for the interviews, not for certification. Just for your knowledge, in case if you are being considered for a consulting role, then they may ask you what is the implementation sequence or what are the steps involved in the success factors employee central implementation. Then you will give these steps one by one. Okay.
Yes, Ajay.
Cool. Now we will see what are the foundation objects. Very important topic. Okay, why? Because foundation objects only will create the organization structure, the company structure in success factors. Okay, see, foundation objects. So see the name foundation objects. So what it means for you? Foundation. What it
It's
means
like
for you?
it's the core or the bedrock to which all the other processes lie on.
Okay, very good. Very good. So the foundation objects. So you have the foundation objects are the stepping stones, right? The building blocks or the success factors, right? So
Yeah.
the foundation objects are also, there are different foundation objects. Okay, one is MDF and the other is non-MDF. Okay, so MDF and non-MDF, we'll see what they are. Okay, MDF and non-MDF. MDF is nothing but uh, metadata framework. MDF is metadata framework.
Metal data framework.
Framework. I'll write it here. This is MDF. Metadata. And this is foundation objects. Okay, foundation objects. So foundation objects. So we were discussing, right? So foundation objects. So like for example, legal entity, which is nothing but company,
Yeah.
department, division, business unit, cost center, right? So all these are the foundation objects. And of course, there are location, right? Location group. These also come under foundation objects. Okay, so
Yes.
location group, and there are many more. We'll see. So why these foundation objects are important? Because through this only we can set up an org structure, right? Like for
Yes.
example, the first will be legal entity. Under that you have business unit. Under that you will have department or division. It depends on the organization, right? How they wanted to structure it. In some companies, there may be legal entity under that department, under that business unit. In some companies, there can be legal entity division under that department and under that BA. So it all depends on how the company wants to structure its organization. Correct?
Yes.
So, and one most important thing is that there has to be associations between these objects. I'll show you. So, legal entity, business unit, department, division, cost center. So, there has to be associations created between these objects. Associations. If there is no associations, what will be the problem? If there is no associations, the system cannot recognize whether these objects are linked within each other. These objects are related with each other. So, for example, if you want to hire an employee called ABC, you wanted to hire an employee. While hiring an employee, you need these details, right? For an employee, which legal
Yeah.
entity does the employee belong to, which business unit, which department, which division, which cost center. This is important, right? Um,
Yes.
and and under this legal entity, that business unity has to be associated. And under that business unit, division, department has to be associated. And then the cost center has to be associated. Because only then they can form meaningful org structure, right? If there is
Mhm.
no relation, the system doesn't understand that there is a relation with each other.
And then it will be difficult to get out information from the system.
Correct, exactly. So that's the reason you have to create associations also. So we will write, we'll see what foundation objects are first. Foundation objects help to create organizational structure. Well, while creating the foundation objects, we need to create relationships or associations between the foundation objects. Okay, foundation object. Third one, the associated foundation object helps to tag the employees
Mhm.
to the respective organization structure. We discussed all these points, right? I'm just noting it down.
Yeah.
Structure. Now, there are two types of foundation objects.
Mhm. MTF
One,
and MTF.
exactly, foundation objects which are moved to MDF, foundation objects which are not moved to MDF. So what do you call them? MDF objects, non
MDF
objects. Right? So MDF object or non-MDF object. So MDF object, what is a metadata object? What is a metadata framework? MD. Okay. So metadata framework, in simple terms, let's say in SuccessFactors, you wanted to create a benefits object. So benefits means, let's say the organizations provide insurance policies, right?
Yeah.
So that's a benefit. So if you want to create that benefit, so that is, there is an option called MDF. MDF in simple terms is a user interface way of configuring the features. User interface in that sense, what we see right in the instance here. This is the user interface. Right?
Okay,
We can,
user interface is the instance.
yeah. So we can create the structure. There is no coding involved. We just can open that object and we can create it basically.
Okay.
Right? So in a simple form, you can create this benefit object using MDF. Right? And using MDF, we can create small applications on top of SuccessFactors. Okay, using like for example, if you want to create an exit management system, let's say exit management system, where uh, the employee during the last working day has to take a sign off from the manager, from the HR, from the finance, from the admin, from the IT, and all this. Okay, so then you can build this small application in SuccessFactors using MDF, metadata framework. Okay, so this metadata framework will allow you to create the objects easily on the UI with drop down and all without any code, and also it can be used for integrations also. Right, so metadata framework, we will see by definition, we'll see what here. MDF is a platform to create objects in simpler format. That is user interface, using user interface. Using MDF, we can create applications. MDF is used to create and maintain database object definitions, object relationships, foundation objects. We'll see all this, okay? Configure object definitions, positions, etc. These are the MDFs. In many more, I'll show you where we can see what are the list of MDF concepts available. MDFs are integrated with workflows, rules, and reporting. Okay, I will show you if you go to the role-based permissions, we did not see the role-based permissions as it. We will see it, but I just wanted to show
Yeah.
you what are the list of MDF concepts available. So yeah, you see metadata framework here.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, you see all these features are built on metadata framework. Yeah, these are all the concepts like manage data, config business roles,
Access
admin
to non-secret objects.
UI, manage positions, manage mass changes of metadata objects, manage sequence, hire date correction, manage leave loading. All these are metadata concepts. Right, so let us move on. So that is the foundation objects, what we that's what foundation objects are and metadata framework. Now we'll see the list of foundation objects. List of foundation objects which are moved to MDF. List of foundation objects which are moved to MDF. So the list of foundation objects which move to MDF are, first one is legal entity. What is a legal entity?
Uh,
It's also called as company, right? Legal entity is the company, no?
yes, it's a company.
Yeah. Then we have business unit, department, division, cost center, job classification, job function, pay group, pay calendar. Okay, so these are the foundation objects which are which are moved to MDF. So all the foundation objects therefore which are moved to MDF are created through an option called as manage data. Through manage data, we'll see where it is. Okay, so success factors, admin center,
Mm.
employee files, and manage data. So now we'll go to employee files. See, SuccessFactors admin center employee files.
Yes, I see that.
Okay, and employee files, and you see manage data here.
Yes.
Just click on manage data. So here in manage data, you just if you want to see the existing objects, type a legal entity, click on it, and then open the legal entities, whichever you need to create. Right, whichever you need to create, you just have to do you see here legal entity,
Legal
start
entity,
date,
this one.
legal entity code, right, description, infinite legal entity. This is some label actually, description. Then you have the description, then you have standard weekly hours. Weekly hours is then the working hours, right? The standard
Yes.
weekly hours. So then you have the pay group, then the location, default location, currency. Do you see? Currency is the important one, right?
Yes.
Currency, because it
Yes.
differs country to country. And then the country,
Uh-huh.
the respective country as well here. Okay, so this is the existing one, the legal entities. These are the list of legal entities which is there, which is created in this system. And let's create one new legal entity. So we just go to create new. Okay, let's write here create new. Okay, create new, and let's select legal entity. Legal entity. So this is the legal entity what we have, right? So legal entity, we have effective start date. So this is the entity code. This is the name. Somebody has changed the label as infinite legal entity. Okay.
Okay.
Change the name, but label, but it is called as name. This is code. This is name. This is description for the
Okay.
legal entity. Okay. So somebody has changed the infinite legal entity label. We'll see. I'll tell you where we can change that label. I'll show you. Once we go to the topic, right? I'll show you
Yeah.
where we can change the label. So now, effective start date. So what do you think on the effective start date? What do you think the effective start date should be?
Where the day the employee has to start effectively, or the date of hire.
Effective start date for this legal entity.
The day it was created,
Yeah.
or the day it goes functional.
Okay. Are you sure about it? Should it be the day which is created? Should it be the day which is created?
It should be, to me, it should be the day where it goes functional.
Okay. So I will tell you what's the drawback in giving this as today. Okay. So let's say we also spoke about associations, right? We spoke about associations, right? That we have to associate the two objects.
Yes.
Like example,
Yes.
mm, Okay, so we have created legal entity today.
Mm.
What is today? 7/3/21. Okay, so we have to associate uh, business unit with legal entity associations. Okay, and this business unit was created on 3 7 sorry 3/3/21.
Mm.
Okay, so we cannot create this association. Can you just guess why?
Your connection just break, Ajay, so I didn't hear that.
Okay, we cannot associate legal entity with business unit. Can you tell me why?
Business unit. Because they don't have the same object, they don't have the same date. One was created, one carries 7 while the other carries a third. So
Correct,
they
correct.
will not
So
be able
when
to
we are,
unify with
you're
each
right,
other.
you're right. When we are trying to associate legal entity with business unit, um, right? So on the day, on this day, the legal entity is not existing, right? Ideally, on
Mm-hmm.
3rd of March, legal entity is not existing on 3rd of March, right? From when is
Yes.
the legal entity existing? From 7th
From
of
the
March.
7th of March.
Correct. So that's why uh, the thumb rule in creating the effective start date is for foundation objects is 01/01/1900. Okay, this is a standard
So
one.
all okay.
This is a standard one. Why? Because there will be no clash at all, right? It is way back
Yes.
in 1900. So this is taken as a default date for the foundation objects. Okay, effective start date is the default date, and for all the objects we should maintain this. Let's say if you maintain division as today's date, then again the same issue, you cannot associate with it because as on that date that division was not existing.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So let's start, let's create this legal entity code. So we will say the legal entity code as mm, Sweden legal entity. Okay, so
Is this a standard also, or we are just assuming?
we are just assuming. Okay,
Okay.
this is just, we are creating on our own. It can be anything.
Okay.
Generally, it starts with the country code. It may start with the country code,
Mm.
right? Or it can be as good as Sweden legal entity. It can be anything. Up to you. Okay. So
Okay.
this infinite legal entity also you can give the same because this is name. Somebody has changed this. This is name at the end of the day. And description. So Sweden legal entity. This is active, and by default the standard weekly hours is taken by default. So this is again done in the rule. Ideally we should have an option to edit this, but this is done by
Editing.
a rule. That's fine.
So
So
since it's not editable, does it mean it was done from provisioning?
yeah, I mean at times it must have been done in through
I mean,
instances.
but permission wasn't given for editing.
Correct. So we'll take Swedish krona, and then country as Sweden. Okay, so this is again a custom built one which doesn't have any meaning. So that's the reason we gave effective start date, legal entity, name, description, status, standard weekly hours, default pay group, default location, currency, country, and then let's save it. Okay, I will send this across to you, and so as an exercise you can just keep creating it.
Okay. Okay, like the steps to create it, and then so I can do an assignment on that, right?
Correct, correct, correct. So now that you are seeing this, you can see this and perform the other steps.
Yes.
So I have created a legal entity, right?
Uh-huh.
And I have copied it here, whatever I have
So
created.
so you have
Like
opened a new Excel sheet.
this, I'll share it with you. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I will share it with you. So I will copy whatever code I will create. So during this week, right, the coming week, whenever you have time, what you can do is you can create more number of legal codes, like two more legal entity, two more business unit, two more department, likewise, just for your practice, and you can keep
Okay.
adding it here, so that it will at any point of time you can refer what you have created. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is about the legal entity. So now, what is the second thing what we need to see? Business unit, right?
Business unit, yes.
So let's go. So again, business unit also same, right? So you can, for all the existing ones, you can go to the search for the business unit and select the business unit here. Whatever, what business unit, right? So business unit. So this is the business unit you have. Business unit code, business unit name, description, status, and the head of unit. So what we'll do now, let's go and create a new business unit.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So what do we need to give as start date as?
Default 01/01/1900.
Great. Okay, business unit code, HRBU, HRBU, HR business unit, active. I mean, we don't know who the head of the unit, because we haven't created the employees as yet, right?
Yes.
So that's why we just leave it blank, and then we go ahead and save it. We created the business unit also. Save business unit code. Business unit code. Okay. So business unit is done. So what is the next one? Department.
Department.
Right? So let's create a department. So again, go to manage data. You are in manage data. Create new manage data. Sorry,
No, department.
department. Yeah. Department. So what's the thing here? It's
01.
01 1900. Okay, I'll do something now, just for just to prove it to you. What I'll
Mm-hmm.
do,
It
I
changed
will
the date.
take today's date. Okay, I will create
Yeah.
it with today's date. Fine.
Yeah.
Mm, HR tech department, HR technology department, basically. Status is active. So we don't know department cost center. And there is, okay, this is what is called as association. We discussed about associations, right?
Yes.
We can associate, so this department, whatever we are creating, we can associate with the existing divisions. We haven't created the division as yet, right? So let's take somebody else's division, whoever has created. Are you getting my point? And
Yeah.
this department and division has one to many association. So how am I telling that we have one to many association?
Because there are many divisions under this one department.
Correct. See, I'm able to create many division associations, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see here, and it keeps going on. So one to
Many.
many, right? So one to many. So one to many relationship. So I'm just saving it. Why we are not taking ours? Because we did not create as it, right? Once we create, let's come back and associate it. Okay. So
Okay.
cost center, of course, cost center also we can take something else. Once we create our own cost center, we can come here and take it. I'm just saving it. So that, let me just copy this. Okay, HR LAN, HR Tech department. So now let's create division. Okay, and this is the association we discussed, right? This is what is association. Now I'm creating this 0101 1900.
Mm-hmm.
HR implementation division. Name and description is not mandatory. So business unit. So can we integrate? Can we associate with the business unit what we have created? What business have we created? Business unit LAN underscore HRBU. Correct.
Yes.
So if we give it here, do you see it's coming?
Yes.
So and this is also division to business unit. Also we have one to
One.
many relations.
Okay. One to many. Yeah, because we can have many business units.
Yeah. So let's copy the division also. Division, division. Okay. So I'm saving it. So we have division is associated with business unit, right? Let's write here for our reference. Division associated with business
Business
unit is one to many, correct? What was department associated with?
with division.
Exactly. Associated with division. One
Mm.
to many, right? One to many. So department, division associated with division, division associated with business unit, one to many, right? So now we have let's go back to the department because we left it, right? Because at that
Yes.
point division was not created, right? So let's go to the department and so let's open our department. We can copy also. We have our department, right? Department. You see here? So let us delete the old ones. Okay, let's only integrate our own division. Okay, I'm
Okay.
deleting it just for your reference. Okay, so division. Now we have our division, right? We have created a division. This. Okay, so land HR implementation division. So we are able to do it like mention division business unit. Okay. So I will do one change now because see why it accepted is that we are not associating division with department. It's the other way. Under department we have association one to many. So that's way today it got created, but this was created on 1900, right? So what we'll do, we will go to division and change it. I'll tell you what changes I am making. Okay, so what I'm doing, I am making this as 0101 1900. Okay, I'm saving it. And we will go to division and we will do today's date. It got saved, correct? So now we will go back to the department and open our department. Do you see the division went away?
No class for no data for division. Yeah.
We have associated it, right? Earlier.
Yes.
It went away now. You see?
Okay.
Automatically. Why? And you can
Because
see the division what we have created. Um, it's not there. Why?
because you changed the date.
Because this division is existing as on today,
Uh-huh.
right? And that's the reason. So as on that day, as on the department start date, the division does not exist, right? The division exists only today. We changed it, right? Remember?
Yes. Yes, we changed it.
So let me open in parallel that division. So now you understand the power of that effective start date. Do you understand that power of start date, effective start date?
Mm, no, we just
I,
said
I will show you division. Mm, See, this date is this,
Mm-hmm.
and this date is this date, 1900. So when we're trying to associate, if the division is also either created on 1900 or previous to 1900 only will display here.
Okay, but if it
Because,
carries a different date, it will not display.
correct. Why? Because the system on this date, the division does not exist.
Exists.
Why? The division only exists as on today. Are you getting my point?
Yes, I understand now.
Yeah. So let me go and make this change. Okay. 0101 1900. I'm making it as the same as 1900. Okay. So I'm saving it. Now, do you see? It's
Yes.
coming. Now, do you understand the correlation between those dates?
Mm-hmm. I understand now.
So,
So is it
we,
only the dates that this correlation is based on, Ajay? Is there any other field where the is there any other factor that this correlation will be based on, or only dates?
only dates.
Okay.
Only dates. Okay. See, it's simple, right? So we saw department is associated with business unit. Division is associated with department. Correct? Department to BU, BU to division. Sorry, division to department. So if the department is created in 1900, the BU, whichever we are trying to associate, also should have been created on 1900 or less than 1900. You're getting the point?
Yeah.
Same goes with the division to department as well. The object should be created, whichever we are associating, they should be created on that day or before that day for associations. Otherwise, this for the system, this object doesn't exist on that day. If it is created like on today's date, let's say, as on 1900, the system doesn't know whether BU is existing or not, because BU is existing only as on today in that example which we were talking. Okay, you got your point?
Yes.
Okay. Now let us move on with the division. Then we'll see the cost center. Then we'll go to the job classification. So we will see the cost center. Cost center. Okay, same again. Cost center. We see cost center. This is just for the information. Statement code, parent cost center manager, and legal entity. You see, cost center is associated with the legal entity. So we can associate with the legal entity. You can just see land legal. You see, this is also one kind of association because cost center is associated with the legal entity. It can be, see, here, that's a very good question, okay? So here, what's happening is, let me just copy this and I'll come back. So here, what kind of relationship does it have? Cost center to legal entity.
That's the question is it can it have one to many associations or is one to one?
It's only one because it has one-to-one relationship.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Previously we had one to many, right? There were
Yes.
many legal entities you could have, but here the relationship is one to one. That's why you're able to only give one. Cost center associated with cost center.
Associated with legal
Sorry,
entity.
associated with legal entity, which is one to one. Please note that this relation is one to one. Cost
Yeah.
center to legal entity association is one to one. If it was one to many, it would have been plus here, right? You can keep
Yes.
adding legal entities here. See, like what would have we could have done here. We have plus here. This is one to
Yes.
many, no?
Yes.
So here you only have one to one relationship.
One to one.
So then you have job
Getting.
classification. This is very, very important. Okay, job classification is where you create job code, which is very important for the recruitment module, also for the position management. We will see why it is crucial for the position management when we move on to the positions. Okay,
Roger.
job classification. So job classification. Okay, job classification one, sorry, 0101900. You can see here job code is automatic,
Mm-hmm.
which means
Why is that, Ade?
yeah, there is a program, there is a rule which is running to create an automatic. So the company probably want to maintain what kind of job codes are created. They don't want to give it to the users. Are you
Uh-huh.
getting me? Once you save it, you will be able to see that. I'll show you once we save it. Okay. So
Yeah.
job code, it can be automatic or there is an option for us to create as well. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So job title. So we can tell success factors consultant admin both. Okay. Then works compensation code. This is just for the payroll team. Works compensation code. I mean, whatever the payroll code, right? That will assign it here. Parent
Yeah.
job plus if there is any. So job level we haven't created, but let's take the existing one. For example, manager. Standard weekly hours can be 45. Regular temporary, regular. Employee class is full time. Employee full time, yes. Supervisor level, this is the manager level. Director job function is technical. This is reporting manager job code. Okay, this is just to see what kind of whom does the reporting whom does the person report to. So we'll just, I mean, ignore this because this is just for information for the payroll and job classification countries. If we have Sweden, let's create it. Let's do it. Otherwise, let's do it to something like a USA or UK, United Kingdom, yeah, GBR. Okay, job classification countries. So you have job classification, which is you can create job code or it can create by itself automatically also. And then you have regular employee class, full-time employee, and supervisor level, and then we will save it. You see, it is associated with job function. Do you see? Associated with job function,
Yeah.
right? So job classification associated with job function. What kind of relation is it?
One to many. Wait, I didn't see the under.
Yeah, you can see. Is it one to one or one to many?
One to one.
That's right, one to one. Okay, so let's take job function now. Let's create a job function. Did we copy it in the form? Job classification. Okay, now so job classification, no, job function. We're talking about the job function now. Yeah, here it is. Just go to job function. 0101 1900 job function ID. HR solution architect, HR solution architect. We can give SF also. Active parent job function. Yeah, we don't have any parent job function, so let us save it here. The job function ID. So our job function is, let me close it. Mm, job function, yeah, job function. So can we go back and associate the job function with job code? We can do it, right? Because we have created it, right? Yeah. Remember, job classification has one-to-one relationship with job function. Correct? Do
Uh-huh.
you remember?
Yes.
So we'll go take make correction and job function. We will do, yeah, this is the one we created, right? HR solution architect.
Yes.
So I'm just saving it. So we have associated the job code with the job classification. Okay, now what's the next one in line? Pay group and pay calendar. Let's see what's the pay group. Pay group. Zero one zero one 1900. So pay group we can say as your annual total compensation or bonus, it's something like that. So we will
Mm.
say annual salary, annual salary, annual salary. So pay frequency we can say monthly. So what is the pay frequency in Sweden?
Monthly.
It's monthly. Okay, okay. So payroll vendor. So all these information is for the payroll purpose. So this is just a text field. So if you know, you can do it. Otherwise, you can skip it. So weeks
Mm.
in pay period, that is 4 weeks. Date delimiter is like uh, till which date the payroll will be processed. And decimal point, what kind of decimal point you will need to apply to. What I'm like, is it 2 decimals, 3 decimals, and this lag? If you can permit any lag in the payroll, any dates, if you can delay the payroll. So earliest change date. What is the earliest change date for the payroll inputs? So that's what it is. And you have this. This is a pay range wrap. This is a custom thing which somebody has created. So what we'll do in the pay group, we will just save it. So the pay group means pay group code is done. Yeah, and the pay group. Now you have, what else you have? You have pay calendar. Pay calendar is, I mean, when is the salary paid in general? Right? So what is the pay period? So pay calendar. So just click on the pay calendar. Okay. So pay calendar is based on the pay group what we have set. Okay. You see pay group.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we have created, right? Pay group.
Yes.
So now pay, you have to take the pay period. So what we should do, so this is the additional information. Off cycle no, processing run type is payroll. Okay, done. So what you need to, if we give 12 here, we just have to define 12 here. We need to
Yeah.
give so many. So this is what is the pay calendar. You are defining the pay begin date, pay period end date, and paycheck issue date in the system. Right? So I will copy this in the pay calendar. Yeah, pay calendar. Okay, I just saved it there. Okay, we have created all the foundation objects which are under MDF, right? We are done, right? We have created all the foundation objects,
Yeah,
correct? Now,
correct.
so these are managed through managed data and foundation objects, foundation object definitions can be also managed through. Where did we find all the legal entity department division? So you go to the succession data model and you see job classification, right? Then
Yeah.
your legal entity or you see company,
Mm-hmm.
then department. Do you see department?
Yes.
Then division. So where is it? It is in
Session data model.
correct. See succession data model. Okay. It is in succession data model. Okay. Through succession data model. So now we will see list of foundation objects which are moved to, sorry, which did not move to MDF, which means non-MDF FOs. Non-MDF FOs, right? Non-MDF foundation objects, right?
Yeah.
So, so the non-MDF foundation objects. So why it did not move to MDF is that they are trying to push it under MDF, but because these are interrelated with the other features, it is yet to be moved to MDF. Okay, it is yet to be moved to MDF. So, so what is that? So we have location, location group, right? And then you have uh, dynamic group, dynamic role, workflow, event reason. So are you getting some similarities where the workflow and all this stuff? You have seen this, right?
Uh-huh.
Workflow. In that sense, you have heard about it, right? Where did you hear about workflow?
From the
Workflow
implement
derivative data model.
workflow.
Derivative data model. You've seen there, right?
I've seen that, but I've just from the implementation sequence,
Yep, yep.
some
So,
sequence of implementations.
so then you have geozone, geozone. pay component, pay component group, pay grade, pay range, then you have frequency. Right, so these are the foundation objects which are defined in the no, it is under non-MDF. So where do we access this? So foundation objects which are not moved to MDF are created through manage organization pay and job structures. Pay and job structures. And please remember, so it is SF admin center employee files. This is where we can access it. Okay. Manage organization. Oops. Pay and job structure. Create new. Okay. And one more most important point. These FO definitions can be also managed through which data model?
Through the MDF or
Which data model?
succession. No.
Corporate, right? Why corporate?
Corporate, yes.
Where did we see the location group and all? I'll show you the
Location group.
corporate data model. Okay, so you see here corporate data model. Do you see location? Location
Yes.
group, location group, right? Do you see workflow?
Workflow, yeah.
Do you see event reason?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see pay range?
Range, yeah.
So all these are in, you can also see pay grade. All these are in corporate data model.
Corporate data model.
Right? So this is the corporate data model. It can be also be done in corporate data model or in manage organization pay and job structure. So now now first is location. So where do we go? Location where we will go to admin center.
Mm-hmm.
Employee files, and you see manage organization pay and job structures.
Job structures.
Yeah, click on it. You'll be able to see a very similar UI for this as well, but it's not under MDF. So create location. Okay, location. So which city do you live in?
Stockholm.
I don't know if this spelling is correct. Can you please correct?
STOCK. Yes.
That's correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Stockholm. Stockholm.
Is it wrong? STOCKHOLM?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, great. Yeah. So, Stockholm. Okay, active. So location group, we did not do it as, created it as it, right? So we'll create it. And time zone. So even
European
the
Standard Time.
time zone, we haven't created it. But what's the time zone? We can
We
make
use
it.
the European Standard Time, EST.
Which one?
Either you use EST, European Standard Time, or GMT plus one.
This one is it? Okay. Europe, Budapest,
Yes.
GMT plus one.
Yes. GMT plus one.
Okay. Standard weekly hours, we can say 40.
40.
Zero zone, we did not create it. We can go back and associate it later, but we can
Okay.
create some zero zone. If you have anything like that, no, we'll create one and then come back. So legal entity, we know what legal entity we have created, right?
Yes.
You see, so this is associated with the legal entity and country, of course, Sweden, right? And you see, as soon as we said country, it's asking for the address. This is the corporate address, right? The business address. You
Yes.
see, you
Uh-huh.
can provide it or you can. This is not. This is optional for us. So I'm just taking this and pasting it in the location. Okay. So location associated with location group. Then what else? Sorry, location group. Um,
Time. So,
Zero zone.
yeah.
Zero zone 1 to 1 and legal entity. Legal entity is 1 to many, right?
Yes. Not
You
too
can
many.
see 1 to many. You can add, keep adding.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So that way we are saving. Now we will create the location group. Location group. 1900. Um, Europe, state here, location group Europe. Now, if we go to the location, right? So we can uh, basically associate this group as well. Yeah, sorry, Stockholm is something new. So uh, we are doing Europe, okay, and save it. We have associated it. Now, what's the next one we have? dynamic group, dynamic role, workflow, event reason. This is a big topic. So we will take it at that point of time when we see the workflow. All this
Okay.
four. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We can make a note of it also. We will. These are big topics. So this we will take it separately, and we'll go to zero zone. Okay, zero zone. Mm, okay. Zero zone. So which continent does Sweden comes?
Europe.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, continent is Europe only, right? That's a dumb question. Europe. We can say Euro zone. Mm, so this adjustment percentage is like, if let's say for the location coordinates we just tell, right, like 5% or 6% here and there, the location coordinates will be there. Okay,
Okay.
that's this adjustment percentage. So when you see uh, do you see this, that percentage, like
Mm,
what can be adjusted? Okay, what percentage can be adjusted for the location, like 2-3% here and there. That's what it is. Okay.
okay.
So you can, this is the zero zone. So where did we see zero zone? We saw it somewhere, right? We had to go and associate it, right? Where did we see the zero zone? When we created a
Mm,
location, remember?
location.
No, 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 not location. What is this?
Location
Yeah,
group. Because
location.
yeah,
Yeah,
we created
location.
location group.
Not group. Actually, it's location. Location. So you can see home. You see here,
Mm-hmm.
Europe zone. Okay, we are saving it. Right. So what's the next one? Pay
Pay
component.
component.
Okay. So what is the difference between pay component and pay component group? I'll just give you that difference. So pay component, and this is pay component group. So pay component is like your basic salary, HRA, house rent allowance, plus gratuity. Pay component group is annual salary, which means annual salary consists of basic, HRA, gratuity, right? I don't know in Sweden what is the total compensation. What are the components of the total compensation?
What is HRA, J?
House rent allowance.
Uh-huh.
This pay is divided so that for the house rent, whatever we pay the rent, right,
Mm-hmm.
for the house, that will be tax exempted. let's say if you are paying 2000 kronos as rent, then this will be exempted for tax. You don't need to pay tax for this. At least in India, this is the policy.
Okay.
Okay. So let's create a pay component. So pay component. So what are the components do you have in the salary?
You have the basic salary, the like HRA, gratuity, all those things, right?
Okay, you also have HRA?
No, for now I don't think I have because I can't see it in my payslip.
Okay, okay. Is there
My
any?
company doesn't pay that.
Okay, yes. Currency. uh, Pay component value. Frequency is monthly. Recurring is tax treatment. Regular. Subscription. Basic. Component. So compensation planning, like when you're doing the compensation exercise, whether you will be using this component or not. Okay. So then what are the maximal decimal places you allow, and whether you after the end date also, whether you will be enabling the end dated payments. Target no. What is target no? Whether this is a part of the target compensation or not. So we can just say yes. Okay, so pay component, we will code here. So now let's create a pay component. Now that we have created a pay component group, we will create this. So now that we created a pay component, let's also create a pay component group. 0101 1900. And salary pay component group. Salary. Currency.
Yeah, SEK.
That's SEK,
You
is
have
it?
passed
Okay.
it SEK.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So display in compensation UI, use for compa ratio calculation, use for, we'll see what compa ratio is, what range penetration is. Okay, and pay component. We already created this pay component, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and so basic salary. This is what we have created, right? So pay component group is associated with pay component one to many. Correct. So let's, before we forget, let's write it here. Um, associated with pay component one to many. Right. So um, Okay, what is a compa ratio calculation?
What?
Compa ratio. You see here, compa ratio.
Compound ratio. Let me see.
Okay, so compa ratio calculation. See, when we are doing salary review, we compare salaries either with the market salary or with the internal employee salary, right? Just to see where we are, just to see where the other employees are. You should have a, when you're doing a salary review exercise, you should have a base, correct, to compare with. So that base salary is in, right, so that base salary is the, when we are comparing it with the base salary, that's what is compa ratio. I'll tell you what's the compa ratio formula. Compa ratio formula is, let's say we have level 1, level 2, level 3. In level 1 job, there is employee salaries, right? So
Yeah.
from that, from all the list of employee salaries, we will arrive at maximum, minimum, median salary range, which means, let's say maximum is 5,000, minimum is 2,000, median is 3,500.
Your mic is.
Hello?
Your microphone was breaking.
Oh, okay. And, I have a good signal, but anyways, so here these are the internal salary in the organization. The max salary is 5,000, minimum is 2,000, and the median is 3,500. Okay. Now, now we will take that particular employee. That employee name is ABC. Let's say ABC's salary is, for example, 3,500. So how do you calculate the compa ratio? Compa ratio is calculated by the employee's current salary divided by employee's median salary into 100. Okay, so this is where we get the compa ratio. Compa ratio shows where does this employee stand amongst the average employee salary in L1. This ABC is also from L1 only. We are comparing the average salaries of L1 band in the organization. I mean, this may be a coincidence. Let's say employee salary is 4,500. So then employee's current salary 4,500 divided by average salary into 100. Right, so this percentage we can take it this way. So that's compa ratio. Compa ratio means comparison with the internal salary, employee's current salary divided by the average salary into 100. That is compa ratio. Okay, you getting my point?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing.
Okay, great. And what is the range penetration? Range penetration is done using the external data. When we're doing salary survey, we reach out to, the companies would reach out to people like Tower Swats and E&Y, Mercer for their salary reviews, right? So what they do is they go to the industry and select the salary ranges. There also they will select maximum, minimum, and median. Of course, they will provide us in percentiles like P10, P25, P50, P60, P90, so on and so on. Max, min, and median. So we have these three salary ranges, right? So this is the market salary range. So employees' current salary divided by market's median salary. Let's say market median salary is 5,000. 5,000 into 100. So this is the compa ratio. Sorry, range penetration. Compa ratio is internal salary. Use range penetration is external salary range. So that's what you need to remember. So pay component group. We just created the pay component. Okay. Then you have pay grade and pay range. So let's quickly see what a pay grade is. Pay grade is your job levels in the company. Okay. Senior pay grade 1. Senior pay grade 1. Senior pay grade 1. So pay grade level is SPG1. Okay. So okay, it's expecting a number. So that's fine. So 1, 1, 1. So this is the pay grade. Pay grade here. Then we have something called as pay range. Next is pay range, right? And then the final one is frequency. So yeah, pay range. Let's see pay range. So pay range is for any um, level of the salary. What is the max, min, and mid? That's what it is.
Okay.
Pay range. Success factors tech pay range. SF tech pay range. Currency. SEK. Frequency is we can say monthly. Okay, minimum pay is, let's say, minimum is 5,000, maximum is 10K, 10K, and then midpoint is 7,000. So we know that zero zone, right? We have created the zero zone, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Europe. So pay grade also we have created.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
senior pay grade, and we know obviously the legal entity also, right? So
Yes.
pay range is associated with what else? What all? Zero zone.
Yep. Legal
Okay.
entity. Range.
Legal entity. One to
Legal
one.
entity.
Correct? One to one. So let's say hmm, pay, yeah, pay range. Okay. Then we have frequency. Finally. Yes. Frequency. This is like what's the regular frequency? You see here there is no date here.
Yeah. Why?
That's because this is frequency, right? It doesn't matter with dates, and it's not. It's a non-MDF feature, right? And so, in fact, it had a date. Somebody has in the UI in the backend they have removed it. Okay.
Okay.
So monthly is so in case if there is any annualization factor means if there is any if you wanted to add a annualization factor in order to normalize the salary, so you use this frequency. So frequency, where was it associated? Frequency, where did we see frequency? We
Mm,
saw frequency
without
when we know the pay range, I think.
pay
Let's see.
range.
Pay range.
No.
Pay range. You see frequency?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have saved our pay range as well. Okay. There we end with the foundation objects. So do you have any questions?